think. All right. I think it's live. I just want to make sure before I start talking. Yay! We're live! Woo! Good morning from the US, everyone! We did it! Getting better and better.
Yay!
Okay, so we are here this morning, and I'm going to introduce my guest. For those of you that don't know this person, for whatever reason, which you should be, you should know her. So I'm Deanna. I am the director of Prana Belly Dance and Yoga LLC, and I'm also the owner of FCBDU, which is FatChance Belly Dance University, which is all things, everything related to FatChance belly dance style. So we have online classes in technique, we have drills, we have makeup, costuming, like all of the things that you need for our style. And we're bringing in a lot of different instructors from all over the world so that we can really showcase the beauty of this style, showcase all of these amazing instructors that we have from all over the world that have dedicated so much of their lives to this style, and really just share our knowledge. And so I'm really excited to bring in all these different instructors for FCBDU. So if you don't know what FCBDU is, check it out. It's fcbdu.com. There's a monthly membership, but you can also purchase any of the classes, and we have free classes out there as well. So without further ado, I want to introduce our next instructor. I'm so excited about this dear friend of mine, Miss Kelley Beeston. Yay! Yay! All right, so if you're here and you're watching, say hello. We're hanging out with Kelley this morning. Kelley, tell us a little bit. So you're in the UK.
I'm in the UK, yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing out there, how long you've been dancing, the style, all of the things.
Oh, goodness, right. So I started this dance in 2007. And I started just in my local village with friends and just taught them as I learned. So people sometimes say to me, how long have you been teaching? And I have to honestly say, probably within 6 months of actually starting dancing, I was teaching, which isn't the ideal solution. But it's like everything else. If you've got nobody to dance with, you have to teach them how to do it.
Yeah.
So what I would do is watch the instructional DVDs and learn a step, and then go and teach them. And then it wasn't until about a year later, I thought, well, if I'm gonna be teaching, I ought to get some formal training.
Might want to learn how to do that.
I might want to learn how to do it. So I went to San Francisco, and I always remember the first time walking into the FatChance studio and just feeling the buzz and the energy, which you just don't get from watching an instructional DVD. Right. So yeah, so that's how I started, and came back, did my general skills, did my teacher training several times of each.
Right, which I highly recommend, actually, because every time I take it, I learn something new.
Well, the first time I did general skills, there was a girl, do you remember Carrie? I think her surname changed to Jenkins, and I think she was from Canada. It
sounds familiar.
Yeah, and she was on the general skills, the first one that I did, and they were going around introducing everybody, and it turned out it was her fourth GS, and I was thinking, 4 times? Why would you do that 4 times?
Why did it take you so many times?
Yeah. But no, I now understand why. You know, it's just so good to refresh everything every so often.
Totally.
And of course, now having the opportunity to assist on general skills is just brilliant. Love it.
Which we were supposed to be spending practically our entire summer together. And between you coming here and us going over there to teach, and so that's okay. Yeah. We've got to Zoom, so we get to Zoom often, which is great.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying Zoom in a weird way. I mean, initially it was just so strange being in that bubble with your earphones in, and you're on your own, and you're talking to the difference for me between Zoom and Facebook is I enjoy the interaction that Zoom gives, whereas talking to a camera is really weird.
Yeah.
But even so, even in Zoom, once you've plugged your earphones in and you've muted everybody, you're in this little bubble for a while, which is totally bizarre.
Yeah.
But now that I've got used to it, I'm really enjoying it.
And Kelley teaches Tuesdays
and Saturdays.
And Saturdays, yeah. And so we'll make sure that we link to your class information and everything there as well. And so
brilliant, thank you.
Yes, of course. I think everybody needs to know about Kelley. This woman is not only amazing, she's also contributes so much to the community as well. And I'm all about like my closest dance friends are complete nerds like me, and we're like constantly educating ourselves and chatting about, technique and ideas on teaching and all of the things. And so I met Kelley for the first, I think it was the very first time, was advanced teacher training.
Yeah.
Right? We took advanced teacher training together, and we were roommates for a fortnight, which I now know what that means. And
so you better explain in case anybody doesn't know what a fortnight is.
It means 2 weeks. Fortnight means 2
in
weeks.
Proper English.
In proper English. We had a really great time, and we learned a lot of proper English, as well as some dirty words, some dirty things, which we won't repeat here. But yeah, I just remember like cock it up isn't what I thought. Isn't what I thought it meant. Some of those fun Britishisms. So I'm going to pause for a second and check out these comments and say hello to everybody. So Lacey says hi.
Hi, Lacey.
And Nora says hello. Nora's in Peru. Christine. Hello, Christine. Hello, Lisa. Lisa says hi, Deanna and Kelley. Yuri says, OMG, you two together. Hearts, heart.
Hi, Yuri.
This is to Yuri and Sushi. And Cindy Moon Bear says, hi, Kelley. We took GS and T.
We did take GS together.
Yeah,
I remember Cindy. Yes. That was the first one, actually. So, yeah.
In 2010. She said, so happy you're the next FCBDU instructor, and I can't wait to learn more about zilling from you. So we'll talk about that too in just a second. Chrissy says, dreaded virus. I think she was supposed to be in Germany with us as well.
Yeah, she was.
And Christine says she hopes to see us next year in Germany as well. And hi, Anne. I see Anne's watching as well. So Carolina says, good morning.
Ooh,
good morning.
Good morning.
We're up pretty early. Gina Marie says, hi, beautiful ladies. Good morning, everyone. So if you have questions for Kelley or myself or anything, just feel free to chime in. We're here to talk about Kelley's course on FCBDU, which is I bloody love my zills.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you wrote on the teaser, I love my bloody zills.
Yes,
and I was thinking,
did.
Actually, for some people, that's exactly probably what they say, bloody zills. Or the other, thing, of course, is I suppose if you practice lots and your fingers are dropping off because the elastic's too tight or whatever, you could end up with bloody zills. But no, it's I bloody love my zills. I do.
So the word bloody, depending on where you put it in the sentence, can change everything, kind of like a comma.
Yeah.
Right? So I bloody love my zills versus I love my bloody zills versus my zills are bloody. Like, those are 3 different uses of the same word. Okay, I'm learning these things. So I bloody love my zills. If you put it that way, it's like I love them so much. I love my zills. And if you say I love my bloody zills, you're like, I love them, but they're a pain in my ass. Is that what that is? Okay. Well, I bloody love my zills. And this course is so amazing. So I'm the lucky one that gets to, watch these classes over and over again as I, of course, receive them and also load them and everything. And I watched this one, I think 3 times total, like the whole thing. And every time I learned something new, I was just blown away. I love the stories that you tell about the ways, the traveling that you do. I love your use, and you do this in all of your classes. I love your use of visualizations. You always have the most unique way of presenting things, you know, and I use some of yours and I'm like, my friend Kelley says this. And of course, then I have to say it with a Kelley accent and throw the word bloody in there occasionally, you know, so people know who I'm talking about. So yes, it's amazing. And I'm so grateful for the time and effort that you put in. I won't go into too much detail because I want everybody to check it out and take this course. But it starts from everything from how to select your finger symbols. And you get to see Kelley's entire collection, I'm assuming your entire collection of finger symbols and what they sound like and how to select the ones that work best for you. And she looks at all the different sizes and the tones, and then goes through everything, like how to wear them, exercises to really feel the wrists and the fingers and get them prepared, the rhythms that you can play, drills for dancing, like all, and then the stories on top of it. It's like, it has everything. I'm so grateful for the time and effort that you put into this class. It's really amazing. So yay.
Thank you. I should employ you as my personal PR secretary, you know.
I feel like I'm really good at telling everybody how amazing other people are because I just get really excited about how awesome my friends are. So I'm happy to do that, Kelley.
Thank you.
We'll do that, and then you can hopefully promote me.
Definitely.
Lacey says, I get a little intense. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so let me see. We got to catch up. Chrissy says, had a very slightly bloody toe from dropping my Zill onto it. Ouch. You know, I think there are more toe injuries from Zills than there are finger injuries from Zills.
Yeah. I always remember when we had to write out our risk assessment for some performance that we were doing. And we were thinking, what are the risks in dancing this style? And yeah, flying Zills hitting the audience was one of them.
Flying Zills, dropping swords.
Yeah.
You know, those types of things. Yeah. Lacey says, I totally ended up with bloody Zills after teaching a workshop last year. She says, I get a little intense. Lacey, intense? Never. And Yuri says, oh, happy Sunday, Moonfire. And Yuri says, okay, so after watching these British isms, we need to teach Deanna about intrusive R. I don't know what that is.
Intrusive R.
Intrusive R. We'll have to come back to that one. Maybe you'll remember.
I'm not tuning in on that one. So
Kelley is one of my dear friends, and she's one of my friends that I often say that they're saving the world. So I have a few friends that work in various nonprofits and just doing so much good in the world. And I'm just like, my friends are saving the world, and Kelley is one of them. So Kelley, along with all of the traveling that you do for dance and teaching, and I know you and your lovey were in Scotland this past week on holiday. So you're also involved, and you created the Sister to Sister project. Yeah. So can we take a few moments and tell us a little bit about that so everybody can understand all the amazing things that you're doing?
So I'll start from the beginning, but I'll try and keep it short because I know a lot of people already know about it. But my husband started going out to the Democratic Republic of Congo because he wanted to use his business skills to help people set up sustainable small businesses and projects. And after a while, I went out with him, and I found that the women would take me to one side and ask questions when the men weren't around. So it would be, the first question was, how many children did I have? And I said 3, and they looked at me in amazement and said, how have you only got 3 children? And I suddenly realized in their roundabout way that they were asking me about contraception. And there's a lot of taboos out there. So there's a lot of misknowledge as well, misinformation. So you have to take yourself back to sort of almost medieval times. because there's a lot of superstition, a lot of taboo, and a lot of the women still think that if they jump up and down after sex, they won't get pregnant. And, or, you know, simple things like putting one foot in a bucket of water. You know, it's ridiculous things. Anyway, there had been a charity that had gone in and done a lot of training and teaching the people about contraception. But then they go off and left them to their own devices, and they had something like 3,500 people signed up saying, yes, please, I want contraception. But then nobody was able to afford to buy any. So I thought, well, this is stupid, because for the price of 2 cups of coffee, surely I could help another woman. And then I thought, well, why don't we put something together for our dance community? And if everybody just gave up 2 cups of coffee and bought a contraceptive implant for a woman over there. So that's why it was called Sister to Sister. But my dream was to have 1,000 implants, which I thought was going to be really hard going, but we're over 3,000 now. So
that's
amazing.
Yeah.
So we're now going for 4,000.
Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah. The second project was I met a lot of women who'd been raped and tortured by various rebel groups. So Congo is very unstable, and right now with the COVID virus, then it's even more unstable than it usually is. And women get a pretty rough deal. They are men's chattels, they're the property of their husband, so he can do pretty much what he wants. So there's a lot of domestic rape. There's also a lot of rebel militia rape, and even government soldier rape. And there's a big hospital called the Pansy Hospital, which, you know, unfortunately, it is very, very skilled in dealing with women who've been raped, because they just have so many through the doors. And it's shocking, really. So part of the problem for the women is not only do they have to go through this sort of abuse, but then their families disown them as a result. And if they get pregnant, then the child is brought up as to know that his father was a rapist and murderer. You know, it's just rough deal all around. So another charity had gone in and offered training for men and women in certain trades. So it could be things like plumbing, fixing motor cars, hairdressing, sewing, that sort of thing. And again, they do their training and off they go, and then expect people to be able to get on with using the training that they've had. But of course, if they've got no money, they can't buy the equipment. So my idea was to fundraise to open a workshop. And actually it was while we were doing our advanced teacher training, if you remember, that it was all just about to happen. And Carolina was really excited, because she said the 2 things I feel passionate about are contraception and sewing. So this was perfect for her. And so with the help of Terry Allred, we launched a Start Some Good campaign and managed to raise the money to get the workshop off the ground. And what that meant was that one sewing machine could be used by lots of different women, because if you give a woman a sewing machine, first time she runs into financial difficulty, she's going to sell the machine. Whereas if she could come to the workshop and use it, one machine could get used by a dozen or so different women, and be used more often and shared by more people. So that was good. So we started off initially thinking, what could we make to sell? So we thought pantaloons would be good. Well, that was a disaster.
Oh no.
Well, so we had another project that my husband had started with a girl who was dyeing fabric. So we thought, great, why don't we take the fabric that she's dyeing, take it to the workshop, get them to sew pantaloons. So on one of my visits over there, I went in and I showed them the measurements, showed them how to, taught them how to make a pair of pantaloons. And it was all yes, yes, yes. and then left all the fabric with them. I came home. Mike came back a few weeks later with his rucksack full of these pantaloons. When I took them out, I was thinking, oh my God, what have they done?
Oh no.
And I had double the amount of pantaloons because they'd used half the fabric to make one pair. Because why on earth would we want such big baggy pantaloons when you can get 2 pairs out of the same amount of fabric?
And it makes sense, especially if you are economical and you're,
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So they've got very little understanding about, this is what the customer wants, so that's what we produce. It's sort of, no, we'll just get the maximum number of pantaloons out of this fabric as possible. So that was difficult. And then also the other problem was it meant that we had to try and export out of the country. Well, there's no mail service. To get anything across the borders, you're going to run into corruption and have to pay vast amounts of money to get things out. So we needed to look for something that would be useful to the people there. So that's when we came up with the idea of washable sanitary towels, because they have nothing. So those have been selling well, but since COVID, we've had to temporarily stop all that because the government has now said, anybody who's got a sewing machine, would you please make masks? Oh, wow. So, yeah. So Lisa Allred has just been doing a basket workshop thing to fundraise, and Magali in France chose Sister to Sister as well. So we've got enough material to get a couple of rolls of fabric out to them to make lots and lots of masks to give to the poorest families.
Yeah.
So because out there you can't socially isolate, you can't distance. You know, if you don't work, you'll starve. Mm-hmm. And they reckon that more people will die of starvation than the actual virus.
Wow. Yeah. So the sewing machines still are saving lives in other ways as well.
But in other ways, yeah.
Carolina says, contraceptives and sewing machines, a must for independence.
Absolutely.
So a must for independence. And then Moonfire says, what a fabulous endeavor. Kudos. Lisa says, Lisa Allred's here. I have a pair of those pantaloons. And Lacey says, do you still have those? I would love a slim pair for teaching.
Actually, I might know somebody who might have some.
Okay. There could be a market for them, you know.
Yeah, a couple of friends of mine regularly do souks at various belly dance events, and I just gave them the lot and just said, look, just get whatever you can for them.
Right.
So I can find out whether they've got any left, because every so often Mark will say to me, what do you want me to do with these bloody pantaloons? Yeah, don't know.
Another great use of the word, bloody pantaloons, as opposed to, what do you bloody want me to do with these pantaloons? Oh my gosh. Well, and we'll link to sister information as well here in the thing. So I'll just put out a bunch of links after we're done for all
if anybody would like to donate, there's links on the FatChance website. I think you have to go down to the site map at the bottom, and there's links on my website, and there's a bit more information about the project. So
okay, very cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I'll make sure to link to those, and so kind of taking us back to your workshop that you are teaching on FCBDU. I bloody love my zills, and I put in the subtitle, and you will too, because Kelley's going to teach you how to love your finger symbols. And also, speaking of the FatChance website, Carolina has generously offered a 25% discount on FatChance finger symbols for anybody that takes this course. So for those of you that are members, the code will be in the very end of the course, as well as a link to go to the FatChance website and make your purchase. And so for those of you that are not members, you can still purchase the course, and you will see that discount code there as well. So if you don't have finger symbols, or if you don't bloody love your finger symbols, maybe you can find some that you do.
Actually, I just realized it wasn't until I did the filming of that video and I've got a close up. My zills are turning up at the edges now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it means I've bashed them so much that they've
curled
actually
up.
changed shape.
Well, I've not personally experienced that with my finger cymbals. Maybe I'm not playing them enough, or maybe I'm just switching them out. But I feel like, and Carolina, of course, can chime in on this. I feel like Carolina has a pair of finger cymbals that completely like curled up on the edges. Because if you look at all four of them, there's like two of them that are like really curled up on the edges from that. And so I wonder if it's the material or just, just
I think
over
it's just
time.
repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the same pair for 12 years. So, yeah.
So they just.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but I didn't say this in the video, so I'll give an extra bonus tip right now. If your zills start not sounding, if the tone's a bit sort of off or whatever, apparently if you bung them in the oven for a while on a high temperature, it
reinvigorates
what would
them?
the word be? I don't know what it does. I suppose it's a bit like it tightens them up, or I don't know.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't tested it out, so.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do it with a pair of like really old. That I'm not, I'm so different finger cymbals I use for different reasons, or they have a different feeling for me. So for me, it's almost like, yes, the tone is definitely a thing, but it's also a matter of like, where am I going? What am I using my finger cymbals for? In fact, so kind of like so we had to pack recently because we thought we were going to be evacuated due to fires. And so we're going around the house and it's pretty much like, okay, you have one suitcase. What could you not live without, or what's not replaceable that fits in this suitcase? And I came into my dance studio and I'm like, what's the first thing that I could think of? My silver FatChance zills. Those are the first things that went in my like evacuation bag. I bloody love my zills because you just get that connection of, it's almost like my yoga mat that I went through yoga teacher training with. Like, these are my finger cymbals that I've had all this hard work and effort have gone into them, and then all of these performances and all of these events. So you just almost just have this bond with your finger cymbals.
So you've got some silver FatChance ones.
See, that's why they went in my go bag.
So I met a UK dancer, I think it was last year, and I didn't know that there had been silver FatChance ones. And her name's Dawn O'Brien, and she was probably one of the first tribal dancers in the UK. And she has a pair of silver FatChance zills. So Carolina, we need those silver FatChance.
I'm gonna grab mine. They're right here. I bloody love my FatChance zills.
So are they the Afghani ones, but with the FatChance signature on them?
Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, this is my basket of zills. So here are the silver.
Yeah.
Wait, let me do a little makeup artist thing. FatChance. Yeah, so the day that I found out that these were no longer available is the day that they got out of my dance bag and went into my drawer, because I'm like so paranoid about losing them. And then of course I have the gold ones, which I don't know that the brass.
So how many pairs of zills do you have?
I have these, which I love. I have these. I have.
So it's a bit like doing general skills over and over again. Every girl needs more zills. You can't get away with just one pair.
Student ones. And I have some in various dance bags. I have the ones that I play in class over there. I have these, which I haven't even put my elastic in yet. These are the brass ones. So you can see the difference in.
Yeah.
And the silver ones, Carolina, I don't know if we can get these again, but.
I'd buy some.
And I don't know if you can really hear it, of course, because of Zoom also. I love them so much. Yes, so these went in like, if I had to leave and I only had the things basically in my suitcase, these went in there, a black velvet choli and in a suit hip scarf. And I was like, I'm set.
I can go anywhere.
Yeah, I can go anywhere with this. So yeah, the silver one. So I think I have 6 pair of Zills, and then I have some that somebody found these at an estate sale and they sent them to me. Aren't they sweet? So I have some that I don't really play, but I love them nonetheless. How many Zills do you have? I think you had like 12 pair or something.
Something video. Like that, yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna check in with the comments. Lacey says, it's Kelley Beeston. Wonderful, so happy. And Lacey says, wowza, that's super generous of Carolena. And then Lisa says, thanks, Carolena, talking about the discount. And Carolena says, yes, Suleiman, which I know I'm not saying that right, from Sirocco, used to make Zills from a softer brass alloy. The result was the edges would curl a lot after a lot of use. I actually wore holes through one pair. Soroyan uses a sturdier alloy. I thought I had seen a pair of her finger cymbals that were like curled up on the ends. And I thought, surely that's not from playing them. And then I saw another cymbal from the same pair and I could compare it. And I was like, wow. So, and then Lacey says, of course I want silver FatChance Zills. Now the brass ones are amazing as well. You see, I have those too. And she says, Carolina says, the silver ones are too loud in my opinion, and they would have been very expensive to produce as whole and hold as inventory. Maybe Soroyan still makes them. Soroyan manufactures our FCBD signature Zills. So thank you for that, Carolina. So she says they're a little too loud, but Soroyan might have some that are similar. They just won't say FatChance belly dance on them. And Cindy says, I'm a Zill addict. I have 11 sets. See, I mean, you can never have, it's like skirts. Well, this pair of Zills works best. Like a skirt. Today, this skirt works best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't tell you how many skirts I have.
Don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. No. And then Kelley's also, you have a lot of other projects and things that you're doing. You're part of a group that has the Friday Challenge. I was going to say ATS, it's habit, the FCBD style Friday Challenge, which is an amazing community group on Facebook that, will you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, it's, I can't think how long we've been going now, but it's more than a couple of years, I think. Mm-hmm. But it was started by Yuri Ferretti, who's an Italian living in Germany, and Anna Nordling, a cool Swede. Mm-hmm. And it started off where they were challenging each other to do laybacks and sending each other their video thing. And then they thought, why don't we start this challenge and challenge other people to join us? And so what I do is everybody so Anna and Yuri set the challenge alternate weeks, and then I go in at the end of the week and watch all the videos and look for some sort of common thing that might help and give a tip of the week. So there is usually something that I can pick on across a wide range of videos, but we have stalwart videographers who religiously come in every week, and that's the whole point. It's about practice. Mm-hmm. So you know, there are members of the group who've been religiously putting in a video every week, and it's really interesting to look back at their early videos and see how much they've improved. Yeah, because they really have. I mean, it's been wonderful to see the development of some of them, but there's so many people that just sort of lurk in the background, and every so often they'll say this is my first video. I've been watching you all for years. And you think, come on, guys, you know, we need you all to put your videos up there. And it's not about performance. It's about, so I think some people, you know, initially they would get dressed up in costume and almost do a performance, and they're thinking, no, this is about your everyday practice. So it doesn't matter what clothes you've got on. It doesn't matter whether you've just come in from work and you're grubby and sweaty. Just get some music on and get dancing, and give us your first take, not the one sort of
Right.
5 or 6 videos that, yeah, the perfect video. Yeah, no, what we want is the first take, and just be confident enough to bung it up there. And what is so nice is that everybody else is so supportive. You know, if you're feeling a little bit iffy about your dance, or, you know, a step that you haven't mastered yet, you'll get so much support and encouragement from all the comments from everybody else. It's just a really, really lovely community.
Yeah, I noticed everybody's so supportive.
Yeah, and we have, well, sadly, we should have had our annual event this month, and that was going to be in Gothenburg, so we've had to postpone that till next year. So it's on, there's links to it in the Friday Challenge group.
Yeah, so if you're not a part of the Friday Challenge group, check it out. There's a lot of information. Also, you can use the search feature within the group. I mean, you can do this in any Facebook group. So let's say you are, you know, maybe you're in the group and you have a question about water pot, or you want to see examples of the water pot. You can go and search for it, or the Turkish shimmy, or whatever, which is kind of neat as well. Kelley always has, like I've said before, these really great visualizations and tips. The same thing with the tips, you know, like you're teaching your tips, everything. How you give these thoughts that I wouldn't have even thought about, because of the way that your brain kind of sees things in a more visual way, you know? And so it's always fun to read your tips, because it's like, oh, yeah, I guess that is just like that feeling, you know, when you do those things. So it's really, really great. And I'm a lurker. I think I've posted maybe like one video or something, but I'm out there supporting. I'm just quietly supporting. And what I've loved is, yes, people putting themselves out there and realizing, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not about that. It's about the fact that you're practicing and that you're pushing your boundaries a little bit by putting yourself out there. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. We're always so afraid of, you know, judgment and I don't know, just like negative feedback, probably just because, you know, life, we get that growing up and going to school and everything. And so what I've noticed also are a lot of the people in the Friday Challenge will also now post videos of themselves in general on social media, of them practicing and working on something. So I feel like that group has been so supportive. It's really enhanced and improved people's self-assurance and you know, confidence, and really putting yourself out there. And right now we're all online and having to be really active. And if we want to dance with people, we have to do it, you know, like through the internet. So yeah, so I think that group's amazing. And we can link to that as well. So to kind of go through some of the comments, oh great, Carolena posted a link to the Afghani silver finger symbol. So thank you, Carolena. Yuri says almost 3 years.
Is it?
Yeah, gosh. Almost 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lisi says it started after GSTT 2017.
Okay.
And Leslie says, that's great to hear, because I've always been too self-conscious to post. I'm one of those that have watched.
Oh, come on. No, come on. If you've been watching it, then my challenge, my Sunday challenge this week is get your first video up there, because I need some new videos to look at.
Yeah, that's a good challenge. Like, your challenge is to just put a video up there. What was this week's movement? I don't remember.
Choo-choo arc arms.
Choo-choo arc arms. Okay. Yep. So there you go. Put your movements out there. Chrissy says, I need a break over the summer, but I'll jump back in soon. And Lacey says, thank you so much for your tips in Friday Challenge. I have learned so much and met so many wonderful friends. So yeah, it's also about just connecting with people and meeting people and yeah, from all over the world. And I think it's really beneficial for people to see other people dancing and putting themselves out there and just seeing what tips they get, you know, or what comments they get. And like you said, everybody's super supportive. Nobody goes out there and says like, your foot's
I don't think there has ever been like a negative comment.
Right. So amazing. All right. So if anybody has any questions for Kelley, let us know. So her course is I Bloody Love My Zills. It's going to be released here shortly on FCBDU. Like I said, she goes through everything from how to select your finger symbols all the way through all of the rhythms, drills for the rhythms. And I love how you reiterate the fact that just because we don't dance, let's say, military pattern with every step that we have doesn't mean that you don't need to know and practice military, belly, all of these different patterns with every single movement, of course, because of chorus. So I love how you go through that and you incorporate those concepts into your drills. So this is another, I challenge everybody to do, to take this class and to do those drills and really like check in with your finger symbols and your military pattern and your belly pattern while you're playing, while you're doing all of these different movements. Like, so belly pattern with an Egyptian should be like
it works so well.
Yeah. But it feels really great when you get it, you know. So we should all be striving to be able to play all of these rhythms with all of the movements. And then Yuri, thank you. Yuri links to the Friday challenge in the comments. Okay. Oh my gosh, Kelley, I feel like I have like all these other things I want to ask and say, but I know, but I know, look, you just got back from vacation or kind of just getting away for a little while and getting settled back in. And so your classes are on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Tuesdays and Saturdays.
And you do this through Zoom.
They're through Zoom. Okay. And I've worked out some innovative ways of getting people to connect. So, and I have to say that there have been quite a few teachers pop through my classes think, how do you do this? So they're doing it too. So
nice, nice. So Kelley's being, for those of you that are don't have the English accent, innovative was the word. How did you say it? I love it.
Innovative.
Innovative. It took me a second. I was like, oh, innovative. Yes. Yeah, and that's the same thing with the ways that you come up with how to explain things. You know, like, you know what my favorite way that you explain the Arabic steps.
Arabic.
But like, so innovative, the way that you, and also I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Why did I not think about that? And I also love how Kelley says she's not great at technology, yet she has innovated the way that people are teaching group improvisation on Zoom. So yes. And if you are an instructor, of course, I encourage everybody to consistently be learning. And if you're an instructor, you know, go take classes from other instructors, especially other FCCE, advanced teacher training instructors. Those are the ones that you can, you know, guarantee are still training, still working, we're connecting. We have our FCCE meeting today, in fact, where we're going to talk more about the shimmy family of movements. So taking Kelley's classes, I'll plug my classes. Carolina has her classes on FCBDU as well. You can go take some refreshers. And and so a variety of instructors that are teaching. So not just for students, but also for teachers, right? We're all students, so.
All the time.
All the time, all the time. And let's see, and then Yuri says, I'm rather sure Kelley came back from holidays. All right, so, oh my gosh, let's see. So Kelley's course, I Bloody Love My Zills, is going to be up on FCBDU here in like just a couple of moments. I would love for everybody to take the class, especially if you're a member. Please take the class, take advantage of your membership. If you're not a member, you should be a member. For $25, you get access to all of the classes. There are currently 27 courses out there, and many of them are multiple hours long. So it's not just, you know, a 15-minute class here and a 20-minute class there. You could go out there and pretty much treat it like a workshop and take these 4-hour classes or these 2-hour classes. So Kelley's Zills, it's like over an hour, so super comprehensive. And I love that because I was talking to a friend about finger symbols and getting your students really like engaged in learning the finger symbols. And in our traditional, 6-week series, 6 to 8 week series, we really want to get the students dancing. So we focus on 15, 20 minutes, just to kind of get them moving with their hands and their feet. We never really get to go into a lot of that detail unless we specifically carve out a whole class for it or as we continue to progress. So I find that your course is not only amazing for people that have been taking practicing finger symbols for a long time to help continuously improve their playing, but I think it's a great supplement for those of you that are really new and maybe finger symbols intimidate you a little bit, or you've never really learned them in class. This is a wonderful course for you to supplement that. So for those of you that are instructors and you have students that need to practice outside of class, but they don't really know where to start, or they don't have the tools to kind of do it at home, I would recommend this class for them. And go ahead, take it, watch it, recommend it to your students. It's just such an amazing comprehensive course. I'm just so impressed. I should have known coming from Kelley, but I'm just so impressed with it and really, really happy about it being here on FCBDU. So take it, and I challenge you to share your videos of you practicing and dancing along.
That would be
Kelley.
amazing. Yeah, let's have some Zill videos.
Yes,
Yeah.
I challenge you to post your Zill videos, and of course tag us in your videos. Hashtag FCBDU, hashtag I bloody love my Zills, all of the hashtags that you want to throw out there. Let's see. And then just the last few comments, Chrissy says, do it. I've had some epic failures on there and I'm still alive. So she must be talking about the Friday challenge.
Chrissy, you've got to stop beating yourself up,
Chrissy, yeah, stop it. But I've posted one video out there, and I think it was because it was the barrel turn, and I bloody love the barrel turn. So I think that's the only video I posted out there. But as much as I teach online and post videos and stuff, even I was nervous at first because you're basically saying, everybody watch this.
Yeah.
You're hoping for the best, Yeah. But yeah, everybody's so supportive, and you meet so many fabulous people on there as well. That's been great. All right, well, Kelley, oh my gosh, anything else? I feel like I've just been wired and talking so much about how fantastic you are.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say about your class that we haven't kind of talked about already?
About my classes?
Yeah. Or about the workshop that you've taught, or the Zill class.
Well, I think right now we've got such a golden opportunity with this whole bloody virus.
Bloody virus.
For the first time, it's forced loads and loads of teachers to go online. And I started playing around with online classes last August. Not with Zoom. I was using something else and it wasn't as successful, but then I found Zoom. But now we've got so many offerings online. You've got to take your chances now while all these teachers are doing stuff, because who knows if they're going to keep it up or whether they'll switch back to physical classes afterwards. But I'm going to be signing up for your yoga.
Yeah. There's yoga Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live on FCBDU. So this is my attempt to not only celebrate National Yoga Month, but also to try to start putting live classes on FCBDU, because I just have this dream. Can you imagine having, of course we have like this one place with all of these amazing instructors on FCBDU, which more courses, more instructors, everything coming each month. but then also having a place where not only myself, but maybe some of these other instructors teaching live classes on this platform. I know I have like big plans. So yes, take my yoga class. It's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 a.m. Pacific time, and it's only 30 minutes. And I'm keeping them, you know, all levels. So it's not like we're like standing on our heads or balanced on our, you know, balanced on
I
our
don't think
hands.
I've done that one for a while.
Nothing like that. It's totally accessible for everyone. So yeah, take those classes. So one final little plug about FCBDU. People have asked, like, what does the U stand for? And I didn't realize that it's not as obvious from people all over the globe as it is here in the US, but the U stands for, you know, university, which you can't really say officially university unless it's an accredited government whatever college. So we just used U. So FatChance Belly Dance Uni, I guess is that what
Uni,
you call it?
Uni.
FatChance Belly Dance Uni, FatChance Belly Dance Style Uni, FCBDU. Tons of classes out there. Please go check it out. There are free classes out there. So if, you know, money's like an option right now, please go out, take some free courses. I wanted to again just offer a variety of classes from a variety of instructors. I wanted everybody to have just one place that they could go and really get reliable information. Not that there's not reliable information out there, but there's just so much you kind of don't know where to go. You know what I mean? So for people that like, I get overwhelmed if I have too many options. So for me, if I just say like, okay, everybody, I'm just going to pick from this one website that helps my brain. So FCBDU is hopefully that. It's your home for everything FatChance Belly Dance style related. And this Zills course is no exception. So I'm just so grateful. We have Carolina's, of course, Zill instruction in her 6-week series. So you get like the foundations of the finger symbols, and then you can take Kelley's hour-plus long whole course on finger symbols and get an even more comprehensive look at it. So whatever your level is, these courses are going to be awesome for you. So join us out there. Okay.
If anybody does the course and has any comments, I'd love to hear your feedback.
Yes. And you can comment in the group. I'm sorry, in the course as well on each and every one. And so Kelley can reply on that, or post in our FCBDU Facebook group, or even just on Facebook. And I'm sure Kelley would be happy to get emails or whatnot from you as well.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, Kelley, oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and for all of your amazing teaching and guidance and just contribution to the community and everything that you do, and all of the world saving that you're doing and all of the things. So I just look up to you so much, and I'm grateful.
Oh, Diana.
Grateful to have you in my life.
Thank you. I bloody love you.
I love you, Beeston. And I can't wait till we're together again and spending time together and teaching next year with Carolina at General Skills and teacher training and technique for teachers. And going to be a great time.
I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Yes. And you'll have to come out here and visit as well. So. All right. Well, I'll see you in just a few hours for our FCCE.
You will?
Yeah, our FCCE meeting. We're going to talk about shimmies today, and I'm really looking forward to that and getting together with everybody there. So thank you all so much for joining us here. If you have any questions about fcbdu.com, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. Kelley's class is going to be released right now. So for those of you that are in my 9 a.m. Q&A, give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to go release this course. And it's just so great to speak with you. And we can look forward to other courses from you too, right? Which you mentioned at the end of the Zills class. So keep in touch with that. And we'll see you all very soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
You're gonna bloody love your Zills. Bye, everyone.
Bye.